Everything I'm about to say is educational and entertainment content only. I am not a financial advisor. Crypto is extremely risky. You can lose everything. Do your own research before investing. What happened today? Listen, I'm not going to drag this out. It's February 5th evening, and XRP just crashed to 1.2624 with a 16.31% drop in the last 24 hours. Yesterday I was talking about 1.49, and now we're looking at almost 25% in 2 days. This isn't a correction. This is a panic dump. Actually, this isn't even shocking for crypto, because we saw this in December, we saw it in January, and now it's happening again. But the real question is, where's the bottom? And when does this end? Let's break it down. The numbers and facts. Current XRP price, 1.2624, 24-hour drop, 0.24613, 16.31%. Trading volume, 350.76 million. That's massive 24 trade volume, 7.95 billion. Market cap, 77.02 billion. Was 91B yesterday. Key fact, the volume on this drop is huge. When a fall comes with this kind of volume, it's not manipulation. This is real selling, real panic. People aren't speculating. People are panicking and exiting. Why did it fall? 3 main reasons. Reason number 1, the entire market is red. This isn't just crypto. The S&P 500 dropped 0.62%, Nasdaq dropped 0.55%. So this is a broad risk-off event. When you see red days on equities, you can guarantee crypto will bleed twice as hard. Reason number 2, XRP was technically weak. 2 months ago, XRP was above 2. Since then, we've hit a new low almost every month. It's a series of lower highs and lower lows. The market sees this and knows the structure is broken. When a broad sell-off comes, people flee weak assets first. Reason number 3, liquidations and stop hunts. Classic crypto panic day. A lot of people were leveraged 5x tanks longs. When price dropped from 1.5 to 1.4, automatic stops fired. Then margin calls. Then forced liquidations. It creates a cascade. 1.4, stops trigger. 1.3, more stops. 1.2, more stops. Down and down. The chart. What happened over the last months? Let's look at the bigger picture. August 2025. XRP was around 3.5. That was the peak. Then month after month of pressure. September 3.3, October 2.5, November 2, December 1.7, January 1.5, February 1.26. See the pattern? Every month, a new low. This is a bear trend, and it hasn't ended. On the daily chart, I see 2 things. First, the volume on the downside is increasing. Second, the bounces are getting smaller and weaker. In August, bounces were 15-20%. Now, bounces are 2-3%. That's a sign the structure is destroyed and sellers are in control. Where's the bottom? Critical levels. Here are the levels that matter right now. 1.2 psychological level. First, real support. If we break this, next target is 1.1. One historical low from 2023. This was the bottom after the previous correction 2 years ago. If we drop here, that's a brutal day. The 0.8475 absolute minimum from 2022. That's nightmare territory, but technically possible if panic doesn't stop. Honestly, I think the real bottom is somewhere between 1.1 and 1. Because, first, These levels have psychological significance, and the market often stops at round numbers. Second, at 1.11 serious support should appear from long-term accumulator. People who believe in XRP will start buying. Third, Ripple's Community Day on February 11th could be a catalyst. If they announce something major about regulation, partnerships, or global ETFs, price could bounce hard. The psychology. Why are people panicking? You need to understand what's happening in people's heads. Someone bought XRP at 1.82 weeks ago. They thought they caught the bottom. Instead, it dropped 30%. They're in psychological pain. Down 300, down 500. That's not just money. That's a feeling of loss. And the brain says, if I sell now, I lock in the loss. But what if it gets worse? What if I should get out right now? That's panic. And that's the most dangerous emotion on the market. Plus, there are leveraged traders. They held a tanks long with 2,000. Margin call hit at 1.3. They have to exit immediately, regardless of price. That adds volume to the downside. When enough people exit out of fear and force liquidations, it creates a wave of panic. That panic creates new stops. New stops create another wave. It's a cycle, and it can last hours, days, or weeks, until enough buyers show up and say, okay, there's nothing left to sell. I'm starting to accumulate. 3 scenarios. What's next? Scenario A. Bounce tomorrow or day. After 1.4, 1.6. Probability, 30%. RSI is extremely oversold right now. In technical indicators, that often triggers a quick bounce. If the market stabilizes tomorrow, if Bitcoin is green, XRP could bounce to 1.4, 1.5 in a day. That would be a normal technical rebound buy, but it doesn't mean an uptrend has started. Scenario B, sideways and slow downtrend 1.3. Probability 55%, more likely. XRP trades in a range between 1 and 1.3, slowly losing support. This takes a week or two, then either a bounce or a breakout lower. This is the most painful scenario because nobody knows when to buy. One day, price is at 1.2 and looks strong. Next day, it's at 1.05 and looks weak. Scenario C, full crash to 0.8, 0.5. Probability, 15%. Worst case, if macro conditions worsen, if regulation becomes harsher than expected, XRP could fall another 40-50%. It's not just possible, there's historical precedent. XRP fell from 3 to 0.2 in 2018. Practical advice. What do you do? If you're a holder, you own crypto. Hold and don't check the price every hour. Seriously, put your phone in another room. Your long-term thesis doesn't change because price dropped 16% today. If you believe in XRP on a 3 to 5 year horizon, then 1.26 is actually good news because it's cheaper than 1.8. If you're a trader, trading day to day, wait for the daily close. See where the daily candle closes. If it closes with a long wick upward, opened at 1.2, dropped to 1.1, bounced back to 1.25, that's a reversal signal, and tomorrow might be a bounce. If it closes as a red candle with no wicks, just red all day, that's continuation lower, and the target is 1.1. If you're in cash, sitting on sidelines, this is your moment. But scale in, don't go all in. Buy 33% of your position at 1.2. Buy 33% at 1.1. Buy 33% at 1. That way you average your entry price and don't try to catch the absolute bottom, because nobody can. Final takeaway. XRP at 1.26 isn't the end of the world, but it's a serious test for the project and investors. The market is showing that XRP is a weak asset in this cycle, but that doesn't mean it stays weak forever. Ripple's Community Day on February 11th could be a catalyst. If they announce something about regulation, new partnerships, or global ETF availability, price could bounce. But right now, this is a washout. This is panic shaking out weak hands. Weak hands are exiting. Smart money is accumulating. Subscribe if you want to see what happens in the next few days. I'll be watching the 1.2 and 1 levels. And remember, don't sell in panic. Make a plan. Stick to the plan. Hold.